Why did Odin trade an eye? Spoiler alert, not for a cooler selfie angle. Let's shatter a popular myth right away. Odin didn't pluck out his eye just to strike a tougher pose or land on the cover of Viking GQ. Sure, a one-eyed glare can freeze a frost giant mid-step, but the real story is less about intimidation and more about inspiration. Literally, Odin traded his eyeball for a sip from Mimir's well, the Norse cosmos' ultimate fountain of infinite wisdom. And in Asgard, wisdom wasn't just for winning pub quizzes. It was essential for outsmarting shape-shifting gods and, keeping the apocalypse on hold. That empty eye socket? Not an ancient eyewear stunt, though Ray-Ban is definitely missing out. It was a power move, a statement that Odin valued insight over eyesight. Think pulling an all-nighter is dedication? Odin gave up an actual organ for enlightenment. So forget Logic. In Valhalla, real wisdom sometimes starts with losing an eye and ends with unlocking the universe's deepest secrets, along with a bit of extra family drama. While Odin was revered for his wisdom and sacrifice, Thor was often misunderstood as merely a brute wielding his hammer. Picture Thor as the ultimate gym bro, biceps bulging, blonde locks flowing, and a hammer that never skips arm day. If pop culture has its way, he's basically the Avengers frat guy with a thunder fetish, always ready for hammer time, but dodging algebra like a frost giant. Meanwhile, the Norse myths are already rolling their eyes. The sagas don't just paint Thor as a hulking musclehead, they show a god as cunning as he is swole, fiercely protective and savvy enough to keep even Loki's cosmic pranks in check. If Thor were all brawn, he'd be hawking protein shakes in Valhalla instead of starring in epic poetry. And let's not forget, Mjolnir isn't just a glorified meat mallet. It blesses marriages, carves out sacred land, and boomerangs back to Thor's hand with VIP treatment. Sure, he's no stranger to flattening frost giants, but Thor's got a sharp wit to match that hammer swing. In short, he's the everyman's hero. Fallible, witty, and way more than just a divine dumbbell lifter. So next time you see Thor, remember, he's brains and brawn, not just biceps without a cause. Yet beyond Thor's straightforward might, Norse mythology is enriched by Loki, who is far more than just a villain. Think Loki was Norse mythology's Darth Vader? A pure-blooded villain, no shades of gray? Buckle up for a mythic remix. The image of Loki as a sneering, mustache-twirling baddie? That's less Viking epic, more Marvel casting call. In the original Norse sagas, Loki isn't marauding Valhalla with a maniacal cackle. He's a trickster, wildly unpredictable, gloriously chaotic neutral, and the ultimate workplace wildcard. If Loki were truly Asgard's villain-in-chief, Odin's HR would have shown him the door long before he transformed into a mare and gave birth to an 8-legged horse. Loki is just as likely to save the gods. Giant-sized problem? Loki's got a giant-sized fix, as he is to sabotage them. Let's just say Baldur's death wasn't on anyone's bingo card. He's a professional chaos consultant, balancing brilliant plots with spectacular faceplants. Only in the final act, Ragnarok, does Loki go full rogue, but even then, he's no one-dimensional villain. Calling him a flat baddie is like insisting Han Solo was just another stormtrooper. Technically there, but missing the entire point. Now how about we rethink that trickster resume? The complex roles of gods like Loki contrast with the popular belief about Valhalla, the destiny awaiting all Viking souls. Picture Viking heaven, endless mead, epic battles, and zero complaints about helmet hair. The legend goes that every Viking who bit the dust snagged an express ticket to Valhalla, Odin's legendary mead hall, a place where daily brawls and nightly feasts were just another day at the office. If you liked Fight Club and buffets, this was your paradise. But here's the kicker. Not all Vikings got the VIP wristband. Valhalla wasn't an open bar after-party. Only those who died gloriously in battle earned their spot. Viking stomachache casualties? Sorry, no bottomless mead for you. Odin might have let in more warriors than most clubs, but his bouncer game was ironclad. Meanwhile, anyone who croaked from old age or illness got sent to hell. The realm, not the expletive, run by the equally stern goddess Hel. And some Norse souls scored invites to Freya's Folkvanger, a rival celestial hotspot with heroic perks of its own. So next time you see pop culture's all-access Valhalla Pass, remember, even Viking Heaven had a strict guest list, and the customer service? 0 substitutions allowed. However, not all who died joined Valhalla. Some found themselves in hell, a realm misunderstood as a place of torment. Forget fire, brimstone, and pitchforks. Let's get real about the Norse hell. Most people think hell is just the Norse knockoff of Christian hell. Scorching pits and screaming souls. Nope. The real Norse underworld's crime? Bad vibes. Hell is less fiery inferno and more perpetual February in a drafty medieval hall. Picture the afterlife as your worst family reunion. Endless small talk, lukewarm meat stew, and stuck next to that cousin who only talks about his goat. Running the show is hell herself, a goddess half dead, half not, who'd give Wednesday Addams a run for her goth crown. This isn't the VIP lounge for mead-stained heroic warriors. Nope. Helheim's the final stop for those who clocked out from old age, sickness, or anything short of a Metallica-worthy battle. No devils with pitchforks here. The only thing burning is your hope, and maybe your patience. So if you came to grill sausages, wrong address. The real horror? Bland food, zero party spirit, and not a single epic saga to brag about. For Vikings, hell wasn't terrifying. It was just FOMO on Valhalla. Despite these realms of death, the gods themselves were believed to be immortal and nearly invincible. Imagine a superhero team-up where not even a stubbed toe is guaranteed off-limits. Welcome to the hit-or-miss world of Norse gods. You'd expect thunder-hurling hammers and fashion-forward helmets to scream invincible. But here's the plot twist. Norse gods weren't flawless immortals, immune to injury or aging. Spoiler alert, their immortality was about as stable as Wi-Fi in a Viking longhouse. The truth? These gods had to snack on Idun's golden apples like they were premium energy drinks, just to look fresh. Without those shiny fruits, they'd wrinkle faster than a Viking after a hot tub marathon. For Odin, eternal youth basically boiled down to 1 apple a day keeps the Grim Reaper mildly annoyed. They were far from untouchable. Thor got singed, Balder was offed by mistletoe, yes, death by Christmas decoration, and everyone nervously shivered at doomsday prophecies. The punchline? If you want superheroes who actually break a sweat and a few bones, Norse mythology serves up perfectly imperfect gods. Think Marvel heroes with mileage, not marble statues. Because really, who hasn't panicked at the thought of running out of apples? Or time? Among these mighty deities, Freya is often oversimplified as just a goddess of love and beauty. Picture Freya, way more than a Norse Aphrodite sporting a feather boa and a stash of love potions. Sure, the myth goes that she's basically the goddess of love and beauty, Norse Tinder's very own poster girl, swiping left on frost giants and right on muscle-bound berserkers. But saying Freya's all romance is like claiming Thor's biggest talent is weather control. Let's set the record straight. Freya owns enough domains to make LinkedIn jealous. Fertility, sex, war, death, and magic. She doesn't play, she rules. Half the souls of fallen warriors drop into her afterlife hall, not Odin's, making her Valhalla's fiercest HR competitor. No wonder Odin's grip on recruitment is shakier than a troll on a tightrope. As patron of cider, a sorcery so potent even Vikings side-eyed it, Freya's magical CV would leave Hogwarts scrambling. And here's the kicker. Her chariot isn't drawn by doves, but by cats. Dangerously fluffy, yes, but far more dependable in a thunderstorm. Her necklace, Brisingamen, could steal the spotlight from any scandal before Tiffany's was even a sparkle in a jeweler's eye. Bottom line, Freya's version of love isn't flower crown cute, it's axe-wielding supermodel fierce. Just call her the goddess who multitasks like a boss. In contrast, Odin holds a far more encompassing role as the all-knowing father of the gods. Think Odin and Zeus are just the same guy in different robes and accents? Think again. Sure, both sit atop their mythic food chains, but that's where the similarities unravel faster than a toga at a wild bacchanal. People love picturing Odin as the Norse Zeus, mighty, all-seeing, and sporting an epic beard. But Zeus is all about flashy thunderbolts and animal transformations, often for escapades that'd get him canceled today, while Odin's busy sacrificing body parts for cosmic insight. Odin loses an eye for wisdom and even hangs himself on Yggdrasil, the world tree, just to snag some runes. Zeus? Mostly just sacrificing his dignity, and occasionally his pants. Odin's hobbies include hoarding secrets and hosting Valhalla's eternal Viking afterparty, whereas Zeus's calendars packed with Olympian feasts and melodramatic family drama. If they faced off in a dad-bod contest, Odin would score high on sheer effort, while Zeus would just lob a lightning bolt and call it a day. Bottom line, Odin's outwitting, Zeus is out partying. Different gods, different games. Odin's wisdom encompasses the prophecy of Ragnarok, a climactic event often viewed as a single apocalyptic moment. Picture this, Viking Armageddon. Flaming swords, wolf gods, and the whole world shaking like a snow globe stuck in a blender. You can almost see ancient Scandinavians huddled in their longhouses, bracing for the ultimate series finale. Ragnarok, the Norse apocalypse, smashing everything to smithereens and leaving only reruns of winter storms as consolation. Myth has it, Ragnarok was a one-and-done cosmic reboot, and Vikings spent their icy nights truly fearing for tomorrow. Spoiler alert, not quite. Turns out, Norse mythology had a soft spot for sequels. Apparently, even the gods flunked the final episode test. Ragnarok wasn't game over, but more like, please insert another coin. According to ancient Norse poems, sure, the world gets destroyed, but then it's reborn, fresher than a Viking after a brisk snow bath. And yes, those were a thing. Odin's doomsday bunker clearly came with a revolving door. So next time someone claims Ragnarok was the end of the line, remember, Viking legends knew their cliffhangers. The apocalypse? Just the teaser trailer for Season 2. Yet, preceding such doom, Balder stands out as the flawless and invincible god, whose fate is pivotal. Whoever coined "nobody's perfect" clearly never ran into Balder. This Norse heartthrob wasn't just the god of light, purity, and joy. He probably sported the shiniest hair across all 9 realms. Balder was so dazzlingly flawless that even elves felt a little insecure. And trust me, elves are tough critics. Legend has it that nothing in the world could hurt him, thanks to his mom, Frigg, who made everything in creation swear a pinky promise to keep him safe. Everything. That is, except mistletoe, which apparently slipped through her mythological spam filter. Balder's invincibility quickly became Asgard's favorite party trick. The gods, never ones to resist a bit of Viking mischief, whiled away the afternoons hurling spears, rocks, and maybe even the occasional goat at him, just to watch the lot harmlessly bounce off. If Asgard had life insurance, Balder would have bankrupted half the market. But even perfection has its pitfalls. Norse mythology knows all too well that nothing spices up flawless quite like a wildly specific plot twist. Meanwhile, some tales, like Loki's prank on Sif's hair, showcase the gods' more playful and less serious moments. Forget the shampoo commercials. Loki's true legacy is giving Sif an unexpected pixie cut. That's right. In the original Norse salon, Loki's not just snipping for style. He's shearing off Sif's iconic golden locks. No appointment needed. Usually this myth gets dismissed as just another prank from Asgard's top mischief maker. But don't let the headline fool you. Sif's hair isn't just for goddess glam. In the Eddas, her radiant mane symbolizes golden wheat fields, and by extension, the very fertility of the land. So when Loki's scissors run wild, he's not simply botching a hairstyle, he's sparking the cosmos' first agricultural crisis. To fix his follicular fiasco, Loki commissions the dwarves to craft a magical new wig, plus a few bonus items like Mjolnir. Yep, all it took to kickstart the Viking Industrial Revolution was one seriously bad haircut. In the end, the saga leaves us with a legendary lesson. In Norse mythology, even the silliest snip can unleash god-sized consequences. Now that's what I call a split end to a myth. These stories ground the gods' influence in Midgard, the world of humans often seen as ordinary Earth. Imagine Earth before Instagram, electricity, or even a working drawbridge. Welcome to Midgard. Most folks today picture Midgard as medieval Earth on steroids. More braids, axes, and a solid chance Loki's lurking to photobomb your breakfast selfie. They see Vikings stuck in endless monster-mashing marathons while Odin chomps popcorn front row in Valhalla. Cue thunder. Roll credits. But really? For the Norse, Midgard was less Marvel blockbusters, more rural Scandinavia, survival mode. No one stumbled over Thor's hammer at the beach, and epic quests usually meant chasing runaway goats or enduring soup suspiciously made from old turnips. Midgard wasn't the epicenter of heroic legend. It was the cosmic cul-de-sac, wedged awkwardly between the chaos of Jotunheim and naptime paradise of Asgard. If Midgard had Yelp reviews, they'd say, "Too cold, too muddy, dragons in short supply." Even Thor couldn't defeat Laundry Day, and most Vikings' idea of an epic journey was a trek to the next village's mead hall. Mythic? Sure. Relatable? Absolutely. Yet Midgard exists interconnected by Yggdrasil, a cosmic tree far more than just a simple big tree. Imagine your average houseplant. Now picture it holding the entire universe together without dropping a single leaf. Meet Yggdrasil. Not your run-of-the-mill spruce, but the Norse world tree, multitasking as the cosmic spine with effortless cool. Mythic GPS? Check. It links 9 realms, doubling as the universe's original Wi-Fi router and interdimensional expressway. But don't expect serene vibes. Gods, giants, elves, and every mythical freeloading neighbor are throwing shade, squabbling, and crashing its branches and roots like an eternal block party. For non-stop drama, Yggdrasil beats any soap opera. Its busiest resident, Ratatoskr, forget gathering nuts like your typical squirrel, specializes in relaying gossip and insults between the eagle up top and the dragon Nidhogg lurking below. If passive-aggressive messaging had a mascot, Ratatoskr is it. Yggdrasil isn't just tall, it's mythically obligated to be awe-inspiring. Sap drips, cosmic deer nibble bark, swords slice through, yet the tree soldier's on. IKEA might master the bookshelf, but flat-packing a universe? Even they wouldn't try. In the end, Yggdrasil's legendary stamina has inspired entire forests of fantasy tales, proving that sometimes one tree really does hold everything together. Within these interconnected worlds, even the identities of goddesses like Frigg and Freya are sometimes conflated or misunderstood. Ever heard the one about Norse mythology's biggest identity crisis? No, it's not Loki's latest costume change. It's the age-old debate over whether Frigg and Freya were actually the same goddess, just rocking a strategic wardrobe swap. Their names are nearly tongue twisters. Their resumes overlap. Goddesses of love, marriage, motherhood, and both sporting those signature feather cloaks. The sagas can't decide either, mixing up their divine gigs like someone's mashed-up Spotify playlist at a Viking party. But hold your chariots, especially the ones pulled by cats, thanks Freya, because modern scholars say Norse worshippers kept these 2 distinct VIPs. Frigg's all about matrimonial bliss and being Odin's right hand, while Freya's the love goddess with a flair for magic and feline transportation. So if Frigg and Freya were the same, someone seriously dropped the ball updating their cosmic LinkedIn profiles. Sure, ancient confusion is real. Blame the Romans, early Christian scribes, or just too much mead. But today's experts agree. They're not divine twins, just cosmic neighbors with eerily similar hobbies. This confusion contrasts with the straightforward depiction of giants as purely evil beings in many stories. So you think all giants in Norse myths are just oversized, bridge-smashing bad guys? Time for a reality check in your monster manual. The usual tale goes, say Jotnar, and everyone pictures hulking villains pushing Viking threat levels to DEFCON giant. But here's the twist. Jotnar literally means the others. Not all of them are out to turn villages into rubble. Some are so laid back they'd rather hit the slopes than smash homes. Looking at you, Scotty. Sure, frost and fire giants have a rep, and some seriously apocalyptic bad hair days, but the Norse family tree? It branches out wilder than a raspberry bush. Gods and Jotnar mix, mingle, and even marry. Just ask Odin, whose wise old friend Mimir was basically a giant head in a jar. Awkward dinner guest or what? Then there's Skadi, who swapped giant life for goddess perks, and a VIP pass to Asgard's quirkiest soirees. So next time you blame giants for all Norse chaos, remember, villainy doesn't come in just one size. If evil only rocked XXL, Thor's drinking contests might actually be Asgard's biggest headache. Eventually, all these rich myths were overshadowed when Norse gods seemed to vanish with the rise of Christianity. Blink. And the Norse gods supposedly vanished right as Christianity knocked on Scandinavia's icy door. Picture Thor, Odin, and the gang frantically cramming hammers and ravens into carry-ons as robed missionaries swept in, leaving behind nothing but empty mead horns and a cryptic forwarding address. Classic myth. The gods exited stage left, ghosting an entire civilization faster than Thor dodging a prayer. But history isn't so neat. The Norse gods didn't storm off. They lingered, awkwardly third-wheeling Christian saints for centuries. Archaeologists keep unearthing artifacts where crosses cozy up to runes, and Christian symbols photobomb Odin's greatest hits. Sagas and folktales smugly smuggled the old gods into living rooms long after churches replaced shrines. Some deities pulled off dazzling rebrands. Odin morphed into a wise king, Loki a mischievous local legend who just can't help himself, and old forest trolls got saintly halos. Christianity didn't evict Norse beliefs overnight. It swiped a few customs and moved in. Even today, Thor's got a day job. Just check Thursday's name.